But what's going on here is a Texas defense that might be the best in football. You got to go to the Baltimore Ravens with Ray Lewis. You got to go to some of the elite defenses that this game has ever seen when you're bringing up what Houston looked like last night. It was ferocious.
When you're just overwhelmed, when you're overpowered, when they can get you with multiple guys, when you've got bookend great pass rushers in Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter, even the best offensive linemen are going to have a hard time.
The Houston Texans defense has gone nuclear. They embarrassed the reigning MVP and his top 5 offense on Thursday Night Football in Week 12, confirming that they are without a doubt the best defense in the NFL. But how did we get here? From the elite pass rush to the hard-hitting linebacker core and the studs in the secondary, this is how the Houston Texans built the best defense in the NFL. Life hasn't always been the most enjoyable for Houston Texans fans. In particular, a 3-season stretch between 2020 and 2022 saw them win just 11 games combined, losing 38 in the process. It was a mess. But in 2023, everything changed. DeMeco Ryans was hired as head coach, an impressive leader who had helped San Francisco post the top-rated defense in the entire NFL in 2022. While he was doing that, the Texans were conceding an average of 24.7 points per game, good enough only for 27th in the NFL. Something needed to change. Thankfully, something did. To mark the arrival of their new head coach, Houston found him a quarterback in the form of CJ Stroud, second overall in the 2023 draft. Then, to really set the tone for the new era, Houston made a bold move, trading up to take possession of the 3rd pick in the draft as well, where they selected the leader of their defense, Will Anderson Jr. It was a bold move, but one that paid off big time, with both Stroud and Anderson securing the Rookie of the Year awards for their respective sides of the ball. Anderson would hit double-digit sacks as a sophomore, before doing the same in 2025. Only this time, it had taken just 11 games to get there, reflecting a player who has already made the leap to Defensive Player of the Year conversations in year 3. Obviously, he was joining a defense that was struggling, but for as messy as the 3 preceding years had been, all of that losing football did at least bring some positives, in the form of high draft picks. Derek Stingley Jr. was a fantastic prize in the 2022 draft, 3rd overall, immediately establishing himself as one of the league's best corners. He earned himself a hefty extension ahead of the 2025 season, which was the biggest cornerback contract in NFL history at the time of signing. The addition of Jalen Pitre in round 2 also goes down as a huge hit. Add in Sheldon Rankins as a tidy free agent addition, and you get a unit that could take a step forward under the guidance of a mastermind like DeMeco Ryans. That is exactly what they did, nudging their way up to the 11th best defense in the NFL for that 2023 season. Not a bad start after ranking 27th the year before. But there was more work to be done, particularly with the departures of key players like Jonathan Grenard, Blake Cashman, Sheldon Rankins, and several others in 2024 free agency. Thankfully, Texans GM Nick Caserio brought in a quality free agent class to help make up for those losses. Danielle Hunter and Azeez Al-Shaair arrived as the headline acts, with Tim Settle, Danico Autry, Miles Bryant, and Derek Barnett also coming in as good depth pieces. Danielle Hunter was the star signing, essentially coming in as a direct swap for Grenard. Entering his age 30 season, there was always a risk that Houston would be welcoming in a declining player. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Hunter has been an absolute machine as a Texan, earning his 5th Pro Bowl with 12 sacks in 2024. Now, in 2025, much like Anderson, he has raced to double-digit sacks on the year already, nabbing 11 of them from his first 11 games. It cost Houston 2 years, $49 million guaranteed to get Hunter in the building, but he has been as good as advertised. Him on one side of the line and Anderson on the other is just too much for offensive lines to handle. Houston would ultimately tie 4th in the NFL with 49 sacks in 2024. Azeez Al-Shaair then stands out as the other major signing of this free agency period. He worked with DeMeco Ryans in San Francisco, specializing in, let's just say, physicality. He is the leader at the heart of the defense, and if he gets a chance, he will make sure you get a rude introduction to his Houston Texans. So, in this 2024 free agency period, Caserio found an elite veteran edge rusher to pair up across from Will Anderson Jr. and a thumper to set the tone in the middle of the defense in Al-Shaair. But in the 2024 draft, there was an opportunity to find even more help, and you bet Ryans and Caserio took it. Kamari Lassiter joined in the fun in round 2, before another defensive gem arrived in round 3, in the form of Kalen Bullock. The big-bodied safety has been a superb all-round package for Houston since joining the team. tied for second in the NFL with 4 interceptions in 2025. 2 of these came on Thursday Night Football in Week 12 against Josh Allen. On top of that, Bullock also forced a fumble from Khalil Shakir on the day, setting up a field goal drive for his Texans. That is how you make an impact and change the game. With all of these new additions, the Houston Texans were able to post a 10-7 record for the second year in a row, once again winning in the wildcard round before making an exit in the divisional round against Kansas City. Houston were able to get this far largely because of their defense, with poor offensive line play contributing to a bit of a sophomore slump for CJ Stroud. Unfortunately, some of those offensive issues have continued to be a problem in 2025, although things have improved a bit, with some of the latest batch of rookies getting a bit more involved. It was a problem early though, contributing to an 0-3 start. The defense was doing its job though, not letting anyone score over 20 points in any of those 3 losses, including holding the Rams to just 14 points in Week 1. This unit has grown so well together, and now in year 3 with DeMeco Ryans, we're seeing a truly elite defense that has legitimate weapons all over the place. The finishing touches arrived in the offseason, and they were linebacker EJ Speed and the returning Sheldon Rankins at defensive tackle. Houston also got new deals done for players like Mario Edwards, MJ Stewart, and Derek Barnett. Good depth is essential in the NFL, not only to protect yourself against injuries, but also to ensure that you have a good rotation, particularly along the defensive line, keeping your guys fresh and ready to make an impact. That is certainly what is happening with Houston this year. DeMeco Ryans has figured out the guys that he can trust, and now that he has had 2 years to build up his defense, we're seeing his quality as a coach and the quality of this unit as a whole. The 16.5 points that they are giving up per game is the very best in the NFL, as is the 264.3 yards they are giving up per game, meaning they rank as the league's best defense from both a yardage and points perspective. Their sack and interception rates are both inside the top 5, with 4 players already getting double-digit interceptions on the season. Those players are Kalen Bullock, Derek Stingley Jr, Jalen Pitre, and Kamari Lassiter, the key cogs in what is undoubtedly one of the league's best secondaries. Gaining separation and moving the ball on them is a nightmare, and that's before you even worry about the guys in the front 7. With the secondary keeping a lid on things in the passing game, they are buying more time for what is undoubtedly the league's best pass rush pairing in Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter. Then in the interior, Sheldon Rankins and Tim Settle are pretty tough to move. Collectively, they are giving up just 92.2 rushing yards per game, which ranks 4th in the NFL. There is not much room for running backs to work with, but dropping back to pass holds its own more perilous dangers. One team who found that out the hard way was the Buffalo Bills, who went into Thursday Night Football on Week 12 as a top 5 offense, led by the reigning MVP, Josh Allen. They were fresh off a 40-point explosion against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in which Allen had 6 total touchdowns. But under the bright lights of primetime action, he could get nothing going against these Texans, who delivered a masterclass for us all to see. They put Allen on the deck 8 times, collecting 2 interceptions and another fumble. They completely dismantled what was one of the best offenses in the entire NFL, holding Buffalo to just 19 points, which was enough to get the win. This was the perfect example of an elite secondary and an elite pass rush working in harmony. Guys couldn't get open downfield, and when you hold onto the ball for too long against this pass rush, you bet that there will be sacks coming your way. It was a perfect celebration of defensive mastery, a product of good drafting, sensible free agency additions, and genius coaching. Now, we will wait to find out if they can propel Houston to another playoff berth. This unit certainly deserves it. But let me know if you think they can get it done in the comments below.